historian of American history, and a journalist. You can find him on Substack. That's Paul Street.
Thank you, Jay. I'm going to say a few things about fascism, but I'm going to end on abortion because that's really mainly what we're about. But I want to talk about the broader context. Fuck the fascist courts and the legislators. Women are not incubators. Or just fuck the courts and the legislators. Women are not incubators. The unavoidable truth, the revolutionary leader Bob Avakian wrote a couple of years ago, is that this country, the much proclaimed shining city on a hill, is full of fascists. In the government, at all levels, and in large parts of the society as a whole. He's right. They're everywhere now. Fascists terrorizing black and brown people, terrorizing children, terrorizing teachers, terrorizing librarians, terrorizing election officials, terrorizing public health workers, terrorizing immigrants, terrorizing, really hot now for them, trans people, going hard at trans people, and of course, terrorizing women and girls. They're working for those in the ruling class who want to rule society with an iron heel and a boot on our necks. It's a long, slow civil war with occasional shocking outbreaks like Charlottesville, January 6th, mass shootings, El Paso, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Highland Park, on and on and on, Nashville, Louisville last week. Shocking outbreaks like the Dobbs v. Jackson decision last summer, like a Texas federal judge ruling on mifepristone 8 days ago, like the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals decision last Wednesday. Fuck that. Fuck the courts and the legislators. Women are not incubators. Real briefly, what do we mean when we say fascism? We mean the arch-reactionary narrative of America this century, or Germany last century, as the once great white supremacist patriarchal nation that was supposedly ruined by liberals and leftists, and it needs to be made great again. When we say fascism, we mean the rejection and overturning of democracy, or what's left of it under capitalism. We mean political violence and the rule of men and force over the rule of law. We mean political violence. We mean the embrace of cults of personality around an always male maximalist leader. When we say fascism, we mean a desire and readiness to eliminate, even exterminate political opposition. We mean a hate-filled, genocidal, us versus them othering of racial minorities, feminists, leftists, liberals, gay people, transgendered folks, intellectuals. We mean wild racist conspiracy theories combined with virulent anti-intellectualism and a rejection of modern science. And when we say fascism, we mean a passionate desire to impose traditional social hierarchies of class, race, nationality, and of course, gender. And they are everywhere now. There is a slow civil war going on in this country right now. Down in Tennessee, white fascist legislators fucking expelled 2 black state reps from the Tennessee House because they led a protest for gun reform after yet another mass school shooting. The openly neo-fascist, white supremacist National Rifle Association, dedicated to the rule of men with guns over law and democracy, is meeting right now, scheming to get more guns into people's hands, even as the nation has already had 150 mass shootings this year. Fuck that! Down in Texas, fascist Governor Greg Abbott has announced that he will pardon a racist Army sergeant who was just convicted by a jury of his peers for murdering a Black Lives Matter protester. And in Austin, Texas in July 2020. Fuck that! In red states across the country, we have legislatures passing laws criminalizing teaching the history of racism, sexism, genocide, and gay bashing. Fuck that! Fuck that! And not just criminalizing the teaching of those terrible oppression systems, but criminalizing the teaching of resistance to those oppression systems. Fuck all of that. What does the war on abortion have to do with fascism? Everything. The war on abortion has everything to do with fascism. It's no accident that the people attacking trans folks, pushing guns, suppressing votes, criminalizing history, expelling black legislators, banning books, defunding libraries are the same people trying to end women's reproductive freedom. Fascism is devoted to the restoration and enforcement of traditional social hierarchy and the blunt enforcement of gender hierarchy is a critical part of that project. Every fascist movement, past and present, has been centrally dedicated to militant patriarchy. Every fascist movement, past and present, has been fiercely determined to keep women in their place, so to speak. That is, out of careers, out of the workplace, out of school, out of politics, out of the public square, back in the home, pregnant, powerless, burdened with childcare and housework, quote-unquote, duties. Well, fuck that. And that's what the war on abortion is all about. It's not about the babies. They don't give a fuck about the babies. They're the same people who defund food stamps and public welfare, and that are perfectly happy to send kids out into states that have infant mortality rates that are an international fucking disgrace. I don't care about the babies. It's about controlling, oppressing, and exploiting women. And men need to say this, by the way. Men love to say, I love women. If you love women, you need to come out into the streets and stand up for women and their rights. Fuck fascism. Fuck forced motherhood. Forced motherhood is female enslavement. Forced motherhood is fascism. Fuck the courts and the legislators. Women are have to keep their